Testing. How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. A little bit of a conversation piece here. There's no right or wrong answer. I think depending on your situation, how you view things, you might look at it from both sides of the coin or one side of the coin. So basically, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine who I definitely respect. And I was talking to him about the new Super Mario game that's coming out for the Switch, Super Mario Wonder. Now that game is going to be retailing for $79.99 Canadian. So I said to him, I don't understand how anyone could justify paying full retail for a game like that. That was probably in development for, 6 to 8 months? And, how much time, as far as gameplay is concerned, how much time do you think you're going to get out of that game? I said, what is that, like a 6 to 8 hour experience? And he was telling me, no, it's like 30 to 40 hours. Which I didn't know that, okay? If that's the case, fair enough. Maybe it is worth the price of admission, I was explaining to him, I said, I hate to bring this game up because you're probably tired of hearing about it. But Starfield, here's a game that has been in development for close to a decade. And this game, Starfield, is full retail, Bethesda game. You play a game like that, you could probably play that game for the next 6 to 8 months, let's be honest. And even then, you probably haven't even scratch the surface as to what's available to explore and do in that open world, right? We all know how big those Bethesda games are. When I talk about paying full retail for a game, and I've talked about this before on the channel, but rarely do I ever pay full retail for a game. Rarely. It has to be a Bethesda type of experience, Off the top of my hands, I can think of all the games over the last 7 or 8 years that I paid full retail for. You've got Grand Theft Auto 5 when that came out. I definitely bought that full retail. Red Dead Redemption 2 I paid full retail for. The Outer Worlds by Obsidian, I paid full retail for that. And we have Starfield here that just came out. I paid full retail for that one as well. So you see a trend here. Bethesda games, Rockstar games. Now with regards to Cyberpunk 2077, I got that game about a week after it came out. Maybe a couple of days after it came out. I found that on the classifieds. And I got that for like $60. So I got a deal on it for sure. Now, the argument we were having was, his argument was, you shouldn't be purchasing a brand new console if you can't afford brand new games. That's what he said. Now, on the surface, that sounds very condescending, right? But when you think about what he said, some of it is absolutely justified. So we'll get to that in a minute. So he was talking about how Super Mario Wonder, or Nintendo games, at least first party for that matter, rarely go on sale. Now there is that is a bit of a half truth, I guess, because I looked it up today and his argument was go look up Super Mario Odyssey. The game came out 7 years ago and it's still full retail, but I saw it today on Amazon.ca and it was like $66 Canadian. I don't know if that was brand new or not, but I mean that's about $14 cheaper than a brand new price for a Nintendo game. Full retail, $79.99 Canadian, folks. So, I guess for this guy, he's busy enough. He probably doesn't have time to go into the classifieds and look around for deals. But like myself, maybe he'll watch this and maybe he'll argue. But I guarantee you, when Super Mario Wonder comes out, within a couple of days, you'll be able to find somebody on the classifieds that's probably selling it for $69.99 Canadian, so $10 cheaper than going into the store. Now you may ask yourself, is it really worth it saving $10? You got some used game that might have gonorrhea all over it. Well, a lot of times when someone's trying to sell something for like $10 less than what it would cost to go into the store and buy it brand new, you can at least get the person down another $5. I can say, hey, would you sell it to me for $65? I got to drive from so-and-so area to your place to pick it up. And usually, most cases, people are willing to, negotiate a little bit, $5, right? So then you're asking yourself, well, gee, Cam, now here you are talking about Super Mario Wonder, which is $79.99 Canadian, and then you're talking about getting it for $65. Is that worth it? Well, it is, because when you're buying it used, you're not paying tax. You buy it brand new for $79.99 Canadian. That's after tax. That's over $90 Canadian. So you're saving yourself $25. So his remark that he said, well, maybe you shouldn't buy a brand new console if you can't afford to buy brand new games. I don't really agree with that, because I have an Xbox Series X, and again, outside the few titles that I mentioned, rarely have I ever purchased a game brand new. I know one game that he's playing is the new Madden football game. He's playing it, and he's having fun with it. Well, let's be real here. Madden games, FIFA games, NBA games, NHL games, they typically go on sale within a couple of months. Within a couple of months, they're like $20. Let's be honest here. That being said, this person is doing really good in life, and you got to be happy for people that are doing good in life. There's no reason to put somebody down or criticize somebody that's doing good in life. So if this person can afford to pay full retail for a brand new game, good for him. Good for him. Maybe this person doesn't want to wait a fucking year to play these games, okay? I get it. That's another side of the equation. We don't have to talk about that today. But for the sake of $20 or $30 to have to wait, a year before you can play a game that everyone else has already played and talked about to death, and then you come along here and you get the game at discount so you can play it. I'm fine doing that, but I can understand why some people wouldn't be open to that. I totally get that, but here's where he's right, though. Here's where he's right. When you're dealing specifically with the Nintendo Switch, not always, but a lot of the times he's right. If you can't afford to buy the game brand new, then maybe you shouldn't have a Nintendo Switch. Even then, sure, you can buy third-party games that are steeply discounted, but I think, and he can chime in and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he has a point, specifically when you're talking about first-party Nintendo games. If you want to jump into that deep end of the pool with the Nintendo Switch, if you're not willing to pony up close to full retail for those games, it's tough. It's tough. Like he said, if you're not wanting to buy a game used that's got someone's jizz all over it, you want to go to the store and buy a brand new game. He's right. Most likely, if I go to Shoppers Drug Mart today in Canada, or Walmart, or Best Buy, Mario Odyssey is probably going to be close to full retail. Super Mario Wonder is going to be close to retail. Not everybody wants to spend all day and all night trying to track down a game on the used market classifieds. It can be a pain in the ass. It's not for everybody. It's certainly probably not for him, and I definitely respect that. So, for his, I guess what it all boils down to, his remark where he said, well, maybe, if he didn't say it in a condescending way. But the way I word it, it sounds condescending, but he was more or less saying, if you can't afford the games, then maybe you shouldn't be buying a brand new console. So I think there is some truth to that. It's open to interpretation, right? I have an Xbox Series X, backwards compatible with Xbox One. We're talking about a lot of games you could choose from, right? A lot of the brand new games, even Starfield, Bethesda games go on sale after a while. It's not, far-fetched to assume that Starfield will be at least $59.99 Canadian a year from now. Maybe cheaper. There'll be copies floating around out there. Red Dead Redemption 2, you can go to the pawn shop and get that game for $20. I've seen it. But he's not wrong with regards to Nintendo. You know, those first party games hold their value. They rarely go on sale, and I totally understand what he's saying. The guy's gonna buy Mario Wonder for full retail. I can't blame him. What are you supposed to fucking do? What are you supposed to fucking do? Especially if you have a kid that's excited to play the game and you want to have a memory that you can hold on to for the rest of your life, being able to play this game right when it came out. It's exciting when it comes out. It's not exciting a year from now, not as exciting. I totally understand what he's saying. Now, he was saying, well, to be honest with you, you know, like, again, full retail for a Switch game, a first-party game can is $79.99. So what's that in the U.S.? What is that? $59.99? I'm not quite sure. But he was saying, like, full retail is really not a big deal in the grand scheme of things for him. It's nothing. It's just, you know, it's taking your family out for dinner. It's nothing, right? It's not a big deal. For me, I can afford to pay full retail for any game I want, but I just choose not to. I'm extremely frugal. I'd rather get a game that's on sale, but for him, it's nothing. It's $79.99 is a drop of water in the bucket for him, and that's fine. Hey, if he's doing well and he can afford to buy games brand new like this, who am I to say otherwise? Good for him. But yeah, no, I do get what he's saying. I do think if you scrounge the classifieds, you can find these games a little bit less than what it would cost to buy it at the store. So it's a good conversation to have. He said something else too that I wanted to talk about, but I can't quite remember what it was that he said. But he brought up some really good points. But yeah, I don't think just because you can't buy games day one at full retail that you shouldn't buy a brand new console. I don't think like that. I think it really depends on a lot of things, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll let you guys have at it in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the subject. Do you think it's irresponsible to buy a brand new console if you can't pony up the big bucks to buy these games at full retail? Or are you a little bit more like my mindset, where you can buy a brand new console and you can wait a year and a half for some of these games to go on sale? You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. And that's it. I'm going to cut it off there right at the 13-minute mark. I thought it was a good conversation piece. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.